In the last video, we have learned about the properties of angles that are made by parallel lines and a transversal. So today we will be seeing how to solve some sums based on those characteristics. So let's begin. So now let's say the first one. Now here you can see there are two lines. These are not parallel lines, and this is a line which is cutting both these lines. Hence this line is called a transversal. So let us say L. Now, based on this question given, we have to answer these questions. First one is angle A and which other angle will form a pair of corresponding angles. So now you know we have learned yesterday how to look for corresponding angles. So when we were doing yesterday, you can see the lines we had drawn were like this and the transversal was straight. So it was easy to identify the corresponding angles. Here also, in case you have any confusion, at the max what we can do is we should just turn the figure around like this. So now you can see we have two lines horizontal and we have a transversal. Now you will be able to compare which is the corresponding angle, right? So with A, you can see below the first line. So below the first line is again G. So we know our angle here is going to be angle G. If you can do it this way, well and good. But if you have a confusion, you can just turn around the diagram. Now, angle B will be corresponding angle with which? So we know angle B here. So again, if you want to cross check, just see where is angle B? Above the first line. So which is the other angle above the first line is angle H, right? This angle, all the angles that we are talking about should be with respect to the transversal. Transversal should be a part of that angle, right? So you can see angle A also had the transversal, angle G also had the transversal, right? So below the line was the first pair. Now angle B is above the line. So above the line is H. So we get angle H is the second pair of corresponding angle. Next, angle D. And which other angle makes interior alternate angle? Interior means inside, alternate means one on one side, one on the other side. So we have angle D. So again you can see here, angle D is 1. So which is the other alternate angle? You know we have to cross on the other side. If D is on this side, the alternate angle will be on this side. That is angle H. So here our answer again becomes angle H. Next, exterior alternate angle. Angle C, and which other angle will make an exterior alternate angle? Again, you can just go and see. Angle C is on the left hand side and exterior means outside the parallel line. So outside the parallel line this side. If C is this side, the angle on the right side is G. So we know angle C and angle G will make an exterior alternate angle. Now we want an interior angle. Angle interior with D. That means on the same side of the transversal. So you can see angle D and angle E. They are on the same side of the transversal and they are forming an interior pair. So D will form an interior pair with angle E. So this way. So if you are very easily, you will be able to do this way, no problem. But if you have a confusion, you can always rotate the figure so that you have two horizontal lines this way and a transversal standing to make it easy to understand. Okay, let's go to another question. Let us say we have a question like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles we have learned were formed. Out of that, one angle is given, 60. And the question is to find all the other angles, right? So let's start. Let us say angle A. Now you know angle A and angle angle A and 60 together is forming a straight line. That means their addition should be 180, right? That means angle A plus 60 is equal to 180. So how do I get A? By taking 60 on the other side, it becomes minus. So 180 minus 60, that is equal to 120. So I got my answer A as 120. Right? So this angle I got it as 120. Now we don't have to do calculations anywhere else. Now we can solve all the other angles by just using the property. Now just see angle A and angle C are opposite angles, and opposite angles are equal in measure. So if A is 120, C is also going to be 120. That is one method to do. And you know this is an corresponding angle with D. So if this is 60, even D is going to be 60, right? So there is no fixed way in which you can do. There are many ways in which a sum can be solved. You can use this is equal to this corresponding angle. You can use this is equal to this exterior in alternate angles, right? You can use this is equal to this corresponding angles. This is equal to this opposite angles. So up to you, whichever is easy for you to use, you can always use. So let us say this is 120. Then angle C is also going to be 120 because they are opposite angles. So C I write here. The reason being that it is opposite angle to A. Now I got this also as 120. Now you can see if C is 120, E is also going to be 120 because they are interior alternate angles. So I got E also as 120. The reason being is interior alternate angles are equal. Now if E is also 120, you can see again E and G are opposite angles. They have a common vertex. So G is also 120. Either you can use this reason or you can see this angle and this angle. They are also forming corresponding angles. So again it will be equal to 120. So either you can use opposite angle, you can use corresponding angle. Both the reasons are correct. So again I get 120. So let us say I use the reason opposite angle to E. Okay, so I got this is also 120. So now you can see how it goes 120, 120, 120, 120. This is the zigzag method that it goes. Now, if this is 60, this also will be 60 because these are opposite angles. Right? So I get B also as 60 degree because it is opposite angle. Next, if B is 60, you can see B and D are interior alternate angles. So D is also going to be 60 degrees. So this is interior alternate angles. Now if D is 60, you can see these two angles are opposite angles. So if D is 60, this also will be 60. Either you use this reason or you can see this angle and this angle are forming a corresponding angle. So if B is 60, F is also going to be 60. You can use any one reason. You can use opposite angles, you can use corresponding angles, you can use exterior alternate angles. All the reasons will give you the same answer, which is 60. Right? So this is how you find. So from here, what we get is, now see, if these are the two parallel lines, and which we had learnt yesterday also using red and blue marks, that these four angles are going to be equal in measure. So either you use the corresponding angles, you use the interior alternate angles, exterior alternate angles, all these four angles are going to be equal. And second will be this angle, this angle, this angle and this angle. These four angles are going to be equal by the same reason. So you will have only two measures as you can see here. 120, 60, 120, 60, 120, 60 and 120. There can be no other measure. So if you know one angle, you can find out all the other angles. Okay. So let's go to the next question now. Here we are supposed to find out the value of x and then all other angles. So let's start with first with x. So just locate where is x. You can see this and this. Both the places there are x. Now what type of angles are these? These are the interior angles on the same side. So you can see these two angles when added up should be equal to 180 degrees. So 5x plus x is equal to 180. 5x plus x is 6x. 6x is equal to 180. So x will be equal to 180. Taking the 6 down, divided by 6, 30. So I got my answer, x will be equal to 30. So if this is x, so this is 30, then how much will this angle be? 5 into 30, that is 150. So you can see 150 plus 30 is 180. Now I got x. Now let us find out a. Now you can see this X and A, they are corresponding angles. So if X is 30, A is also going to be 30. Fine. Now this angle and F are corresponding angles. So if this angle is 150, F is also going to be 150. Corresponding angles, right? So I got F 150. Now if F is 150, D is going to be 150 because they are vertically opposite angles. So I got D also 150. If D is 150, B is also going to be 150 because they are corresponding angles and corresponding angles are equal. So I got B as 150. Now if this is 30, you can see C is also going to be 30 because they are interior alternate angles and interior alternate angles are equal. Or as I told you, this and this angles are going to be equal. So if X is 30, E is also 30 because they are opposite angles. So here also you can see we got 30, 150, 30, 150, 30 and 150. You cannot have any other value other than these two numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do some more sums now. Let us say I have these sums now. Okay, let us go to this fourth sum. Now here we have to find the value of X. Now again you can see these are two lines and we have a transversal. This is 4x and this is 5x. So let's find out what is the relation, how we can do it. So I'm just going to again turn this paper like this so it becomes easier for you to understand what we are doing. Now you can see this 4x and this angle. They are forming a corresponding angle, one below the line, one below the line. So these two angles have to be equal. So let us say I give this name, let us say an angle A. Then how do I write this is A is equal to 4x. Reason being is it is a corresponding angle. So now this angle also I got as 4x. Now you can see 5x and 4x together they are making a straight line. That means their addition should be equal to 180, right? So what I write as equation as 5x plus A should be equal to 180. But we know A is 4x. So 5x plus 4x is equal to 180. 5 plus 4 is 9x is 180. So x is equal to 180 divided upon 9, which is 20. Right? So this is how you can find out. If you know two different angles in two different positions also, then using the properties of corresponding interior or alternate angles, we can find out. Now let's go to another question, fifth one. Now you can see the question here. Now here in the question you can see there are two lines and two transversals and different angles are given on two different transversals. So you should not confuse here. For solving, what you should do is first look at only one transversal because we can compare angles only at one transversal. So for clarity purpose, let us say I am just covering up this other transversal. So you can see on this transversal, there are two angles given and I have to find the value of A. So I can use only this part to find the value of A. I cannot use this and this. I cannot say this is 80, so this is also 80, one below the line, one below the line, right? I'm going to do it this way. So now, if this is 95, this is a corresponding angle to this, right? So if this is 95, this is also going to be 95. And if this is 95, these are opposite angles. I can say even A is going to be 95. Or even directly I can say this angle and A are exterior alternate angles. That is why A is also equal to 95. So I get my answer A is equal to 95. Reason is exterior alternate angle. Or you can say this angle, you can give some name to it. Let us say B. Then you can say B is equal to 95 because corresponding angle. And then B is equal to A because they are opposite angles. So again, you will get the answer 95. So I got the first. Now let us say I hide this transversal and now I look at only this transversal. So now again, you can see we have two lines and one transversal. I have to find out B. Now 80 is given, right? So there are different methods I can do. Like let us say this is a linear pair. The addition should be 180. So if this is 80, this will be 100. 100 plus 80 is 180. So if this is 100, this is also going to be 100 because they are corresponding angle. This is one way. Or you can do is, you can find out this angle. Let us say I give this angle M. So you can say this angle and this angle are equal because they are corresponding angle. So if this is 80, M is also going to be 80. So once you get M as 80, then you can say B plus M will give you a straight line 180. So again B is equal to 100. That is another method. Second method is, you can even use this. You can see these two angles are opposite angles. So if this is 80, this is also going to be 80. And B plus 80 should be equal to 180 because they are interior angles. They are on the same side. So again you will get the answer 100. So all the three methods are correct. Whichever you find easy, you can use the method, right? So let us say I'm assuming this method, I'm just showing how to do. Let us say this angle is M, right? So then M also will be equal to 80 degree because it is a corresponding angle. Then we know that B plus M should be equal to 180 and M ka value is 80. So what we get for the answer is 180 minus 80. That is answer is 100. Whichever way you do, you will always get the same answer. Choice is yours, which one you want to do, which is easy to understand. Whether you use opposite angle and then interior angle, or this linear pair and then corresponding angle, or this corresponding angle and then linear pair, up to you. You can use any pair. Okay, let's go to the next question. Now again here you can see in sixth question, we have two parallel lines and a transversal. And one value is given and we are supposed to find the remaining. So I'm just again rotating this diagram so it becomes easier to understand what we are supposed to do. So now these are the two parallel lines. This is the transversal, right? Now you can see 75 and D are interior angles. They are on the same side of the transversal inside the two parallel lines. So their addition is going to be equal to 180. So we start with that. 75 plus D is equal to 180. So D will be, take the 75 on the other side, the sign will become minus. So 180 minus 75 is 105. So I got my answer, this is 105. Now you can see D and C are opposite angles. They are formed by two intersecting lines at a common point. So D is equal to C, angle D. So if D is 105, angle C is also going to be 105. So I got this as 105. Now you can see angle C and angle A are exterior alternate angles. So if C is 105, angle A is also going to be 105. So angle A is equal to angle C. It is exterior alternate angle. So even angle A is equal to 105. So I got this also as 105. Now you can see B and 75 are opposite angles. So definitely B also is going to be 75. So B is 75. Reason being is it is an opposite angle. So any property you can use corresponding alternate interior, whichever you find easy, and definitely you can use, no answer will be wrong as long as you are using the correct pair of angle. If you are using alternate, it should be correct pair. Don't use the wrong pairs. If you are using the corresponding angles, again use the correct pair. So let's go to one more sum, the seventh sum. Now here also you can see we have two lines and two transversals. So what we will do is, as I have told, you should always take care of only one transversal first. So I'm just hiding this transversal so it becomes easier for you to see what we want to find out. Now these are the two lines and this is the transversal. So I will be able to get the value of C using this. Now you can see C and 50. They are exterior alternate angles. One on this side of the transversal, one on this side of the transversal. So in one step itself, I'm getting that C is equal to 50 degrees. They are the exterior alternate angles. Now let us use the second one. Now you can see here, all are only variables. I don't have any value. So how do I find this? That means I will not be able to use this transversal. So what I do is I cover up this way now. So now again you can see I have two lines and this is one transversal where one value is given. Now since one value is given, we can definitely find out the other. Now you can see these are the two lines and this is a transversal. And these two angles are on the same side of the transversal inside the parallel line. So they are interior angles and their addition should be equal to 180 degrees. So using that equation, I can find out the value of A. So 50 plus A is equal to 180 degrees. So A will be 180 minus 50, which is equal to 130 degrees. So I got A is equal to 130. Now here you can see A and H are opposite angles and they are equal. So angle H is equal to angle A. So that also will be equal to 130 degrees. Right? So you can see we found out A, we found out H. Now I have to find out G and B. For that, either now I can use this because I have got the two values. So I can use this transversal, or I know the value of C as 50. I can use this transversal. Right? Both are correct. Only thing to remember is that you should use only one transversal. Don't take angle from one angle and the variable from the other. Don't compare it this way. The angle should be only on one transversal. It is up to you which transversal you are choosing. If you're choosing this, you can use this. If you want to use this, because we have got the value now 130, 130, we can definitely use this also. So let us see, I'll just use this now. Now in this transversal, see these are the two lines and this is a transversal. So you can see this angle and this angle are corresponding angles. This is one above the line, this is also one above the line. So angle C will be equal to angle B. So if angle C is 50, angle B is also going to be 50 degree. And again you can see these are opposite angles, B and G. So if B is 50, G is also going to be 50. So angle B is equal to angle G will be equal to 50 degrees. So this way you can see we have found out all the values of all the angles. So what you will remember is if there is only one transversal, there is no problem. You will be able to do it. But when there are two transversals, don't consider both the transversals simultaneously. Don't compare this and this. Don't compare this and this, right? Just compare one transversal by hiding one transversal, solving this, and then going to the next transversal. Either this way you can use it this way, you can use it this way. It's up to you which way you want to use, but you should use only one transversal at a time. Thank you.